Tens of thousands of Palestinians have died. Children have died.
When I say he was an illegal alien, he was an illegal immigrant, he was an illegal migrant, and he shouldn't have been in our country, and he never would have been under the Trump policy.
The contrast between the two competing rallies in Georgia simply could not have been more stark. Biden's campaign is imploding and Trump is surging, literally like never before. We're going to see precisely the real reason why the Trump train appears unstoppable for November. And then
I got pulled aside by my counselor and vice principal, and they told me, hey, you got to remove the flag off the back of your truck. And I kind of looked at him, I said, no, I said, it's not going to happen. I said, I can't.
MAGA students at a local high school openly rebel against their woke teachers. We got the latest from America's heartland. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane during these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and let's dive right in. The polling's coming in from Biden's disastrous State of the Union speech last week, and it confirms that the vast majority of the nation is indeed turning their backs on Biden. While the legacy media was doing cartwheels trying to convince Americans that it was a really great speech, the speech actually got the worst polling seen in a quarter of a century. This according to the Washington Post. Now, keep in mind that most people who tune into a State of the Union speech are already supporters of the president giving it, which makes the low poll numbers even worse for Biden. And frankly, as the weekend approached, things just got worse. As you saw earlier, both he and Trump held competing rallies in Georgia over the weekend. And let's just say the contrasting turnouts could not possibly be more stark. But now we have the data analytics behind what by all appearances suggests to be a tale of two very different campaigns. We can now see precisely why Biden is imploding and Trump is absolutely surging. Take a look at this polling from Miami-Dade, what was once a firmly, reliably Democrat stronghold. This is the latest from Rich Barris of the People's Pundit. The respondents sampled affirmed that their voting pattern reflected the 2020 turnout in Miami-Dade. 53% of respondents voted for Biden and about 45% voted for Trump. That's how these respondents voted back in 2020, and that reflected almost to the percentage point the actual results from 2020, where Biden won Miami-Dade with 53% of the vote. Look at how respondents said they're about to vote in 2024. It's now Trump by 53. Their numbers have literally reversed. It's a 10-point swing for Trump since 2020. Gang, you've got to let this hit you. Were the election held today, Trump would win Miami-Dade. Trump would carry Florida itself by double digits. Remember, in 2020, Florida was still considered a swing state. The electorate has completely shifted since then. And that's exactly what the liberals over at the British Financial Times are freaking out over. The American electorate, as we speak, appears to be going through a massive racial realignment, where more non-whites than ever are aligning themselves with Trump. We saw the New York Times poll drop last week that showed Trump leading with Latinos by 6. By 6! Remember, Democrats were freaking out when New York Times polling suggested some months back that Trump could come within a point or two of Biden with the Latino vote because they're basically even. That fact alone, that Trump could even close the gap with Latinos, was enough to freak the Democrats out. Now Trump is pulling away with Latinos. He's crushing Biden by 6 freaking points. And we're seeing precisely that among Cubans and Venezuelans in Miami-Dade. But it's not just Latinos, it's the non-white vote overall. Back in 2020, Biden led Trump with non-whites by 50 points. As of now, that lead has collapsed to just 12. From 50 to 12. Trump is literally crushing it with non-whites. Well, at the same time, of course, he's already been crushing it with whites. Trump has a supermajority of the white vote, and he's completely closing the gap, once considered utterly, absolutely unassailable, with the non-white vote. And the latest ABC News poll that just dropped is confirming that this shift towards Trump is absolutely issue-initiated. Voters all across the spectrum overwhelmingly trust Trump on all the top issues: immigration, border security, inflation, economy, crime, you name it. All across the board, Trump is absolutely crushing Biden on those issues, often by double digits. That's why Trump is now nearly +3 in the Real Clear Politics polling aggregate, an aggregate that gave Biden a double-digit lead for most of the 2020 campaign. When all is said and done, the Democrat coalition is unraveling. More and more historic Democrat voters are aligning with Trump, but one voter demographic may be the most shocking realignment of them all, and that is what we're going to see next. But first, gang, as you know, our founding fathers created the American Constitution for the very purpose that our rights as citizens would be protected at the fundamental level. Over these past few years, however, we've directly witnessed the growing threats posed to those rights. To fight back against this creep against our freedoms, I partnered with a group of amazing patriots who formed the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC, as it's known, is America's leading senior advocacy and benefits organization and acts as a conservative, patriotic alternative to the AARP. AMAC, on top of being a proud Turley Talk sponsor of today's video, pays attention to the voices of their members and champions patriot concerns on Capitol Hill. AMAC provides its members with top-notch insurance, travel benefits, as well as numerous other services, all without the big government agenda of the AARP. Just click on that link below to join today. Membership is immensely affordable and provides you with superior benefits and a community of over 2 million members, just like you, who are dedicated to preserving our traditional American values. Between Biden's stagflation, the open border, and the disastrous situation brewing overseas, I think it's pretty safe to say mainstream Washington advocacy groups are not putting your interests first. But click on that link below and you can help bring that travesty to an end. Join AMAC today and help save our great nation. Click on that link below or visit amac.us/Turley and choose the right plan for you, but most importantly, for our nation.
Wherever 17-year-old Cameron Blazek goes, so does Old Glory.
The flag itself represents this country, this beautiful country that we live in.
He fastened the flag to his truck this summer.
It's very strongly secured in there. I mean, you can't pull that out if you tried.
It abides by the U.S. flag code.
I got pulled aside by my counselor and vice principal, and they told me, hey, you got to remove the flag off the back of your truck. And I kind of looked at him, I said, no, I said, it's not going to happen. I said, I can't.
Cameron held the line.
Read through East Central's 2023-2024 handbook, and the word flag wasn't even mentioned in the parking lot or driving section. The only section it's mentioned in is the flag twirling section.
Boy.
The next day at school, others showed up with flags of their own.
There was a huge support group there that believed and stood for the same thing that I did, and I was kind of shocked by that.
That's when the principal sent a letter to parents Friday to, quote, address recent concerns and confusions, writing, I am pleased to inform you that we are allowing the display of the U.S. flag by students in the parking lot. Principal Black clarified to WCPO in an email that there has never been a complaint about the U.S. flag. One literally hangs above the parking lot, and that school administrators decided Friday they would, quote, prohibit other flags if they were determined to be offensive. A social media post about all this went viral.
I was pretty surprised by it that it got so many views and pretty much that it got the attention it did.
There are veterans in this family, and Cameron himself is considering serving.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of him. He stood his ground and stood up for what he believed in.
The American flag has been politicized in recent years. One poll shows 83% of Republicans have a very positive view of the American flag. That number drops to 49% for Democrats.
I think everybody gets offended over something that doesn't mean what everybody says it does. This flag represents our country and the people who died for it and fought for it, and I respect that with my whole heart.
Old Glory, sparking new debate.
God bless that young man. That was Cameron Blazek, a senior at East Central High School in Indiana, standing his ground in defense of a flag that, as you can see, half of Democrats basically hate. And what Cameron and his classmates represent is a massive shift among the under 30 vote, who are now solidly MAGA. In the latest Harvard-Harris poll, 65% of voters between the ages of 18 and 24, 65% support Donald Trump. Gang, that's a supermajority. In fact, Harvard-Harris found that Trump enjoys stronger support among 18 to 24-year-olds than he does any other voting demographic. I mean, it's an astonishing shift in voter allegiance. That's yet another indicator that we really are witnessing a larger political paradigm shift, where voters who were once motivated by ideology, particularly liberal ideology, are instead now increasingly being motivated by identity. Now, scholars have noted for a while now that increasingly ideology, which was animated the politics of the 20th century, has lost virtually all confidence in the hearts and minds of voters. And they're increasingly embracing identity as their primary political motivation. And while identity politics have thus far been dominated by the left in terms of BLM or LGBT issues, now we're seeing an identity politics of the right, a far more nationalist, populist, even traditionalist politics emerging, most especially among the youth vote. And so it does appear, with this massive shift in voter alignment, that the days of binding the Democrats are indeed numbered. It does appear that the future belongs ultimately to MAGA. Hey, gang, I just wanted to give you a huge note of thanks to each and every one of you, the thousands of you that have recently clicked on the link below and joined our Insiders Club. As many of you know, we took a big hit from big tech. Our channel was completely and totally demonetized, but you, literally thousands of you, stepped in and you rescued me and this channel by bypassing big tech and joining our Insiders Club. You made it loud and clear to the Silicon Valley oligarchs that we're a movement, an army of like-minded patriots who refuse to be silenced by the international woke police. And so once again, I just want to take this moment to thank each and every one of you who have joined our Insiders Club for coming to our rescue. And for those of you who want to join in on the effort and take action, gang, just click on the link below and join our email list. That way we will never, ever, ever lose touch with each other, no matter what big tech does. So just click on that link below, join our email list, and become a part of an army of literally hundreds of thousands of patriots dedicated to taking our nation back, most importantly, together.